The Berserkers are some of the most iconic and terrifying creatures in the entire Gears of War universe. They're blind, unstoppable, and capable of turning a full squad of gears into polvo and segundos. But despite their legendary status, they won't be appearing in Gears of War E-Day, and the reasons are actually very clear once you connect the dots in the official lore. First, E-Day is all about showing Marcus Fenix's first steps against the Locust Horde. This is the moment where Marcus has zero experience with any Locust creature. The trailers make that very clear. He doesn't know what these things are, where they come from, or how to fight them. E-Day focuses on fear, shock, and survival on Marcus becoming the soldier we need in Gears 1. Now, let's look at the key canon moment that confirms everything. In Gears of War 1, right after Min Young Kim is killed, Marcus asks Baird what they're up against. Baird replies bluntly, "It's a Berserker." That line is extremely important because it reveals that this is Marcus's first encounter with a Berserker ever. If Marcus had already seen one during E-Day, that line in Gears 1 would make no sense at all. Yes, some fans point to Gears of War, Judgment as evidence that Berserkers were already active on the surface early on. And that's true. Cole, Baird, and Paduk fought them before the events of Gears 1. But Marcus wasn't there. Judgment follows Kilo's squad, not Delta. So canonically, Marcus doesn't need a Berserker until the first game. This is the most important reason why Berserkers won't appear in Gears of War E-Day. The story can't break its own continuity just for fan service. It has to respect Marcus's timeline, his growth, and the original narrative that defines him. Another point, E-Day's focus seems to be on the Locust that actually appeared during the initial emergence: drones, wretches, Serapede-like creatures, Nemesis swarms, and the massive chaos in the cities. Epic moments, see, Pero dentro de lo que Marcus se enfrentó ese primer día. Berserkers simply don't fit that moment. There's also the fact that Berserkers are used narratively as a mid-game escalation in Gears 1. They're a turning point and introduction to the truly monstrous side of the Locust. If you put them in E-Day, that impact gets watered down. Does this mean we'll never see Berserkers again? Of course not! If anything, the new Unreal Engine 5 would make them look absolutely brutal, probably more terrifying than ever. But saving them for a future game keeps the timeline intact and keeps the tension rising across the new saga. So yeah, as much as it hurts to admit it, the chances of Berserkers being in the main E-Day campaign are basically zero. Not because they aren't awesome, but because canon matters and the developer clearly wants E-Day to respect the original timeline. Marcus meets Berserkers later, and that's part of what makes Gears 1 so memorable. Still, imagine how insane it would be to see a modern Berserker one day. Their roar shaking the screen, their footsteps cracking the concrete, the rage charging straight through walls. When that day comes, trust me, it'll be legendary. For now, though, E-Day belongs to the early horrors of the Locust emergence. And the Berserkers will have to wait their turn.